Good morning, students. I hope you all are fine and safe. And today we will continue the same chapter, chemical integration and coordination. And in today's class, we are going to discuss the remaining endocrine glands. We have studied many glands in earlier classes like pituitary gland, thyroid gland, parathyroid gland, pineal gland. We have studied about that adrenal gland also. And in today's class, first of all, we are going to see the pancreas. Pancreas is a dual gland. If we see the location of this gland is located in between the loop that is present between stomach. You can see this picture, stomach and duodenum part of small intestine. In this loop, this pancreas is present, and the pancreas is a dual gland. Dual gland means it performs both the functions, means it releases the enzymes also for the digestive process that we have already studied. Pancreatic juice is released from this pancreas, and it helps to digest the proteins, carbohydrates with the help of enzyme trypsin, amylase, lipid digested through lipases. So pancreas is exocrine gland also. Exocrine means it is ducted gland present at location and release the enzymes, and it act as a endocrine also because it releases the two most important hormone in our body that maintain the sugar balance in our system. So in this way, pancreas is that gland which is dual in nature, and it releases the two hormones, insulin and glucagon. Now, for insulin, you can see this picture. In this picture, you can see that acinar cells are there. This is exocrine part of the uh, pancreas. Exocrine part means this part, acinar cells, they releases the enzymes, and we have other cells also that releases the or secrete the bicarbonate, sodium bicarbonate. We know that when we studied about the digestive system, that pancreatic juice releases the bicarbonate ions to neutralize the acid that comes from the stomach along with food. So these all are exocrine parts, and here you can see this part, and these parts, these are called islets of Langerhans, which is the endocrine part of pancreas. So pancreas, if we see the histology, both the type of areas or zones are there. One zone is exocrine part, where exocrine glands are there, ducts are there, that releases the enzymes in the duodenum, whereas endocrine part, that is known as islet of Langerhans, and it contains two special type of cells. That these cells are called alpha cells and beta cells. I will show you the another picture. In this part is more clear, that are islets of Langerhans. This picture you can see, this is the picture of pancreas, and this part we have already seen. This is exocrine part, which is called islets of Langerhans or pancreatic islets, and this contain many different type of cells. These different type of cells are given here. You can see alpha cells. Alpha cells, these red cells, these cells releases the hormone glucagon, and the another green colored cells. You can see so many green colored cells. These are called beta cells, and they releases the insulin. There are a number of other cells like somatostatin releasing, and there are a number of different cells also, but majorly we are talking about this alpha cells and beta cells that releases the glucagon and insulin enzyme. So let's discuss the first hormone, glucagon, that releases by the alpha cells, And these glucagon is a peptide hormone, proteinous in nature, and it plays very important role to maintaining the normal blood sugar. How glucagon acts mainly on liver cells. कैसे ये control करता है? It acts on hepatocytes and stimulate the glycogenolysis. Means glycogen का lysis करता है, breakdown करता है और ग्लूकोज में, ग्लाइकोजन को ग्लूकोज में कन्वर्ट करता है. हमारी बॉडी में जितना भी एक्सेस ग्लूकोज होता है, that stored in the form of glycogen in our liver cells, hepatocytes. And when the body is requiring this glucose, these glycogen is converted into glucose by the process called glycogenolysis, breakdown of glycogen. That's why during fasting, if we are not eating anything, but the body can able to get the energy, and that energy comes from this process only, that glycogen is converted into glucose. So glucose increases due to this hormone. That's why this hormone is also called hyperglycemic hormone. Hyperglycemic hai because it increases the blood sugar level by inducing the hepatocyte to convert the glycogen into glucose. So this it stimulates the process of gluconeogenesis also, which also contribute to hyperglycemia. Hyperglycemia means increase in blood sugar level. So glucagon reduces the cellular glucose uptake and utilization. So it enhances the level of glucose in our blood. That's why it comes under the category of hyperglycemic hormone. Now move on to the next hormone that is released by beta cells. Beta cells release the hormone insulin that plays major role in regulation of glucose homeostasis or balance in our body. Insulin also acts on hepatocytes and adipocytes. Adipocytes बच्चे जो हमारी ऐसे cells जो adipose tissue के part है जो fats को store करते हैं. This insulin enhances the cellular glucose uptake and utilization. That is opposite to glucagon. Glucagon is uptake और utilization को reduce कर रहा था. It increases. Insulin increases the utilization of cellular glucose and uptake. So as a result, there is a rapid increase in the glucose from blood to hepatocyte and एडिपोसाइट, जिससे ब्लड ग्लूकोज लेवल जो है वो कम हो जाता है. ग्लूकोज लेवल कम मीन्स द हाइपोग्लाइसीमिया, हाइपो HYPO लेस, ग्लाइसीमिया ग्लूकोज प्रेजेंट रहता है ब्लड में. दिस स्टिमुलेट्स द ग्लूकोज टू ग्लाइकोजन. ग्लूकोज जो है उसको कन्वर्ट करता है glycogen के process में. So this the working of this hormone is antagonistic to glucagon. Glucagon increases blood sugar level, whereas insulin decreases blood sugar level, and this इंसुलिन कन्वर्ट्स दी ग्लूकोज इनटू ग्लाइकोजन. वहां पे क्या हो रहा था, जब ग्लूकागॉन वर्क कर रहा था तो वो ग्लाइकोजन को ग्लूकोज में कन्वर्ट कर रहा था बाय ग्लाइकोजेनोलाइसिस से. हियर यू कैन सी दैट ग्लाइकोजेनेसिस हो रहा है जिसमें glucose is converted into glycogen. So this in this way insulin and glucagon both function antagonistically. One increases the blood sugar and another decreases the blood sugar. One increases the uptake and utilization, another decreases the uptake and utilization of glucose. So one enhances the glycogen to glucose, another enhances the glucose to glycogen. So in this way both are working on hepatocytes and maintains the sugar balance in the body of the individual. If prolonged hyperglycemic conditions रहती हैं अगर blood में किसी person के individual के, hyperglycemic means increased blood sugar, that disorder is then formed or converted into diabetes mellitus, जिसमें यूरिन के थ्रू भी ग्लूकोज पास होने लगता है, and harmful compounds जो जो हैं जैसे कीटोन बॉडीज हैं वो किडनीज में फॉर्म होते हैं, तो दैट कंडीशन इज नोन एज डायबिटीज एंड इट कैन बी ट्रीटेड वेरी वेल विद द हेल्प ऑफ इंसुलिन therapy. Very common disease in these days in our surroundings, in our society. So nowadays it is very well treated with the help of insulin therapy. This is all about for the gland pancreas, which is dual in nature. Now I am moving on to the next gland. That gland is called testis. Testis is located in male. This gland is present in males. In male, the reproductive system is the place where this gland is located. Testis also plays dual function. It acts as a primary sex organ also for the male reproductive system, and it also acts as a endocrine gland by releasing the male hormone called androgens, or specifically androgen is a broad term and the specific hormone is testosterone, which is released by testis. So this is the structure of the detailed structure of the testis. Testis is located in the scrotum, in the extra abdominal pouch, and it is present outside the body. In 10th standard you have already studied the system that this increases, this test is located outside the body to maintain that temperature for the spermatogenesis, as the sperm production requires the temperature 2 or 3 degree more than the body temperature. That's why it is present outside the body in the extra abdominal pouch in a tough capsule that is called scrotum. If you see the picture of testis, this testis having many, tubular structures you can see. These tubular structures are called seminiferous tubules. These are seminiferous tubules. These highly convolvulated structures. Testis is divided into many parts. You can see there are different chambers. These are called testicular lobules, and these lobules contains these seminiferous tubules. यही seminiferous tubules aggregate होके duct system बनाती हैं, that it forms the rete testis, and finally they form the epididymis, this green color structure. This is epididymis, and this epididymis finally opens into a vas deferens. This tube is called vas deferens, that finally carries the sperm to the reproductive or urinary tract. So these seminiferous tubules are the place where sperms are formed. Spermatogenesis process take place, and with the help of this process, sperms are formed under the guidance of hormone testosterone. So androgen जो एक broad term है, we are using this term for male hormones. This hormone function as to regulate the male reproductive system, male accessory sex organs like जितना भी tubular duct system है, vas deferens है, epididymis है, rete testis है, seminiferous tubules है. Then there are number of other glands also, seminal glands, prostate gland, urethra. These hormones, this androgens maintain all the structural or reproductive system of the males, as well as they promote or they stimulate the muscular growth of facial and axillary hair, aggressiveness, the low pitch of the voice. This is also regulated by the this hormone androgen testosterone. It also plays major role in the process of spermatogenesis or the formation of spermatozoa. Androgen also acts on central nervous system to influence the male sexual behavior, and there are these hormones are also anabolic, means they synthesize or they synthetic effect on proteins and carbohydrate metabolism. So this is all about the testis, and then we are moving on to the next last endocrine gland. This gland is ovary, which is present in females, and this gland is located in the female reproductive system. You can see this picture. In this picture, this is the female reproductive system, that fallopian tubes, and this is uterus, and this part is ovary. A pair of ovaries is present in human female, and it also act as a primary sex organ also, as well as it act as a gland which releases two types of hormones, estrogen and progesterone. And ovary, if we see the structure, this is the detailed structure of histological view of ovary, and we will see the detailing in the 12th standard, jahan pe we have to see the embryonic stages, all the stages of development of egg and other processes related to the reproductive part. But here I'm just giving you a brief that how this hormones are working on the system. See, you can see these rounded bodies. These are different developing follicles, and this is ovum. You can see that primary oocyte hai. This structure. This forms the ovum finally, and this ovum is released. After releasing from the ovary, this whole part, जो इसकी surrounding cells हैं, they all are converted into a temporary endocrine gland, which is known as कॉर्पस ल्यूटियम. कॉर्पस ल्यूटियम एक एंडोक्राइन ग्लैंड की तरह एक्ट करता है, एंड ये बेसिकली जब ओवम रिलीज हो जाता है ओवरी से, तो जो रिमेनिंग पार्ट है फॉलिकल्स का वो कन्वर्ट होता है, और ये ग्लैंड जो है टेम्परेरी है, एंड इट रिलीजेस दी estrogen, progesterone, both the hormones, and these both hormones maintains the female reproductive cycle, that menstrual cycle, and also maintaining the pregnancy also. So in this way we can say, अगर हम इनको define करना चाहते हैं, तो estrogen is that hormone that is basically responsible for this process. It causes the LH surge and release of ovum, or causes the ovulation process. Progesterone in common term is known as pregnancy hormone, because it is responsible to maintain the pregnancy in human female, that is 9 month gestation period is maintained only under the guidance of the hormone. So progesterone and estrogen, these two maintain very important role in development of female secondary growth and organs, development of this ovarian follicles we have seen in the ovary. Then secondary sex characters like high pitch, development of mammary glands. It also regulate the estrogen, basically regulate the female sexual behavior also. And progesterone supports the pregnancy, and progesterone also acts on mammary glands, and it also stimulates the formation of alveoli, जो ऐसे structures हैं जिनमें milk production और milk secretion related processes जो हैं वो form होते हैं. So in this way these are different two hormones, estrogen and progesterone, which are responsible for the maintenance of reproductive cycle, like menstrual cycle, that is 28-day cycle in females, release of egg, ovulation, development of ovum, formation of corpus luteum, then maintenance of pregnancy for 9 months. So aggregately these two hormones maintains the whole female reproductive system. See that estrogen, that hormone of femininity, and this estrogen is essential part. It contributes development of secondary sex characteristics. It regulates the menstrual cycle, prepare the uterus for pregnancy by causing the thickening of the endometrium. जो inner wall होता है uterus का, उसकी thickness maintain करते हैं ताकि placenta develop हो सके. Placenta is that tissue that develop between mother and the fetus to carry out the exchange process, exchange of nutrients, waste and oxygen, corpus luteum formation, placenta formation, and at the time of menopause, that reduction in these hormones, estrogen, that causes the hot flushes and sleep disturbances, mood swings, then changes in the reproductive system, that is done with the it means that reduction in these hormones causes the that passing of the reproductive phase in the females, and the females are entering into the post reproductive phases of their life. So this is two hormones of female reproductive system. That progesterone is a steroid hormone, and it is also released by corpus luteum, and it maintains the pregnancy. And this you can see there is a development of placenta, and this placenta also act as a temporary endocrine gland, and it releases many hormones like HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin है, there are HCG, HPL, ऐसे हार्मोन्स हैं जो सिर्फ प्रेग्नेंट फीमेल की बॉडी में ही फॉर्म होते हैं. So this is all about the different type of endocrine glands, and these endocrine glands secretes the hormones. In the next part, we will see that some organs like kidneys, heart, gastrointestinal tract also releases some hormones, and the regulation, or we can say the mechanism of hormone action, that we will see in the next lecture. This is all about for today's class. Thank you, students.